Hi everybody from TechnoLost and welcome to the review of the BlackBerry Z10. First of all, I want to thank our friend at Global World Mobile for this Z10 we have for our review. Well, we already seen the dedicated focus, both was the operating system like and the multimedia side of this device. Now let's just sum up the pro and the cons and with this final review. First of all, I want to remind you quickly the hardware specs of this device. We have the CPU, which is the Qualcomm S4 with Crate architecture. There's a dual core CPU clocked at 1.5 GHz. We have then 2 GB of RAM and an Adreno 225 GPU. We have 16 GB of internal storage expandable via microSD card slot. And we have this beautiful display, which is 4.3 inches with a resolution of 1280 for 768 pixel. So with a very high density of 356 pixels per inch, more or less. This display is really beautiful, it's gorgeous. We have very good viewing angles, very good color reproduction, and moreover it's a very bright display. It's capable of 800 nit, which is maybe one of the highest value actually on any mobile device for display brightness, and in fact it is really easily readable under direct sunlight. So these are more or less the hardware specs. Just to a few other things, we have LTE connectivity, of course, and we have the backside illuminated sensor for the main camera, which is 8 megapixel, and the front facing camera, which is 2 megapixel. Then let's see few other features of this device, and let's start with the very important feature, which is the keyboard. Of course, we have a very good keyboard here with the BlackBerry Z10. We don't have any haptic feedback, but we have a very good sound feedback. Moreover, the prediction algorithm of this keyboard is really good. Let me show you. Hi guys, how you can see while I'm typing, the keyboard is showing me some words directly over the next character. I can press to complete that word. So if I want to say how are, just pressing the A, then I should press R, but you can see that just above the R there's now the word R. So this is very easy to complete the word, just performing a small swipe from the letter to the upper side of the letter, like this. You can see how hard. Now the keyboard is even predicting the next word I may add. So like this, if I press Y, I have directly U. So this is really interesting way of typing, and it's a very good prediction algorithm. Moreover, this keyboard has few gestures that we can perform, like 2 finger swipe like this to close the keyboard, or 2 finger up to reveal the keyboard. Then we have 1 finger swipe down just to change between the special characters and the numbers, for instance, and then back to the normal letters. So this is really interesting. Moreover, we have a very good system to correct the word. This is the lens, which is really easy to drag around just to select exactly where you want to leave the cursor to correct the word. And we have even very good system to to select the word like this. If we drag this small drop, which becomes even bigger like this, we can then select the word that we are interested in. Then pressing on the word selected, we have even select all the text, cut, copy, paste and share. So a very good and interesting keyboard from BlackBerry. Sorry, just one more things I forgot to tell you. We even have, of course, the vocal recognition of this keyboard. We just have to press here. How are you? And as you can see, at least here in a very quiet place, it's easily to recognize what you are saying. Speaking about vocal recognition and voice command, we have a system for voice control. Just let me show you.
Do you want to search the internet for this is for
No. Search the internet for what's the weather like in Rome.
Searching your device for what's the weather.
No. Definitely didn't work. Sorry guys. Usually it does work at least in a very, quiet ambient like it's my room right now. Search the internet for what's the weather like in Rome.
Searching your device for what's the weather like.
Okay. No, not my device, the internet. Okay, let's try the last time, guys. Sorry, maybe it's my bad English. I'm not mother tongue, as you can imagine.
Who would you like to send an email to?
Search the internet for what's the weather in Rome.
Unable to find Sega Seeker worth in your
No.
contacts.
Okay, definitely not a good way to show you the voice control for this device. Anyway, if you give a look to the Italian review from the first minute, I'll show you the voice control. Definitely it's working far better in Italian. Maybe it's just because of my really bad English. Sorry guys. Then so apart from this very dramatic voice control show, just let me show you a few other apps like the phone dialer. Here we have the call log with the all call or missed call. Then we have the contact that we can perform searches here, and we have the dialer. Here we don't have any smart search for the dialer, so pressing something doesn't reveal anything. So if we want to perform a search, we are forced to go into the contacts to perform a search because the dialer has no smart dialing. This is the dialer. I will show you the SMS system. What else is very interesting is this file explorer application, which is really good because it does even connect to Dropbox, as you could see, but we can even just browse the device or the SD card, and we can of course have several ways of viewing the file system layout. Then we have the map application, which is not quite good. Maybe it's just too young, and it does remind me of the first version of iOS Google Maps, where we couldn't have turn-by-turn navigation, but we just have the possibility to perform a search and to calculate the best path to reach the destination, while we couldn't have any turn-by-turn navigation. Just let me show you. Moreover, we don't even have any kind of a satellite view or flyover view or any other stuff. We just have the traffic, but as you can see, it doesn't seem to work quite well. So just let me show you. If I select just a destination point and then we select go,
Calculating route.
it's calculating route, but as you can see, if we start, apart from looking for a satellite signal, I can tell you that there's no turn-by-turn navigation anyway. So maybe they still have something to work on for this map application. Of course, we have other app, like for instance the clock app, which is quite nice and quite, functional. We have here the timer, the stopwatch, the work clock, and the alarm. We even have the way of, the night mode. That is, like I showed you in the BlackBerry 10, dedicated focus, of course. So we saw few apps and few things of this BlackBerry 10. Now let's just see other stuff. We saw already the multimedia side. We saw that we have a very good music player, although we don't have any kind of equalization. We had a very good, for what concerned picture, at least for macro and well lit scene. Well, we have mixed bag for what concern scene when there's not too much light, and again it's quite good when we don't have almost any light at all. For what concerns the video, we have quite good video shooting with very high, not very high, but anyway quite high bit rate. We have 16 megabit per second on 1080p, for instance, and the video are, quite smooth. There's no problem for what concerns smoothness, at least. I mean, they're not perfect, but not that bad anyway. I've seen worse video for sure. Then we have, as I told you, very good music. We had very good loudspeaker here. Here is where the external speaker is. It's very loud. It's very good. You won't miss a call for sure with the speaker. And then what is really interesting too is, for instance, the browser. Here the BlackBerry did a very good job with this browser. We have not that much settings, but maybe we have the best we could have, which means that, for instance, we have Adobe Flash support directly integrated into the browser. This is very good. And we have into the developers tool the possibility to select the desktop mode. So just let me show you a few things. This is Repubblica, which is the Italian newspaper. It's a very heavy web page. We cannot browse it while in mobile mode because we will have to pay. So let's just select the desktop mode like this. And then we will reload the page. Reload. Okay. Now we will see that the page is loading. No, maybe it's better to try it once more like this. Okay. Right now it's working. Let's get back to the main page of Repubblica. Okay, sorry guys, it's not that easy to, navigate through the pages using, while being, quite far from the display. Doesn't seem to be clickable. That's a shame. So let's search for directly Repubblica homepage. Here we go. So this is the homepage I was telling you about. This is a very heavy homepage, but as you can see, there's almost no problem in scrolling. We still were loading the page, but there's no problem in scrolling the page. Is very fast, quite smooth. We don't even have any kind of problem for concern, pinch to zoom and panning across the page. You see, very good indeed. And just want to show you, there's no problem in, activating Adobe Flash Player and, reloading the page. Usually when activating, sorry, I took the wrong button. Okay, usually, at least in many Android devices, when you select the Flash Player, the browser performance really got worse. Here, this is not the case. As you can see, the browser is still very fast and very smooth. No problem in, scrolling through the page as well as in pinch zooming, it's extremely fluid and smooth, no problem. The only downside, but this is not in any way, you know, related with the Adobe Flash Player, is that we don't have any text reflow. So the browser just will, you know, set the text size in order to fill completely the page, but it won't reflow the text to fill the size you selected of the text. Anyway, very good browser, and we have of course multi-tab, and we have background loading for the tab, so a very good browser for the BlackBerry 10. So we saw several things of this BlackBerry 10, so maybe now it's time to sum up and to see the pro and the cons. So for what concerns the pro, I shall admit that we have a very good form factor. We have 4.3 inches, which is maybe the best size for those who consider the iPhone to be way too small or the Galaxy S3 to be way too big. So it's very easy to, you know, hold this device in your hand. You can easily reach all the display in every part with your thumb. And just to give you a quick comparison, I'll put aside here an iPhone 5. So as you can see, although the display of the BlackBerry Z10 is quite bigger because it's 4.3 inches against 4 inches, that's no too much different in phone size like this, as you can see. So it's a very good form factor. I will even add the fact that the display is extremely bright. It's very good. You get great viewing angles, great color reproduction, and there's no problem in viewing it in direct satellite. Consider that we have a display capable of 800 nits, so it's a very high value for what concern brightness in any mobile device. Then the interface, at least in my opinion, is very good for what concern the gesture system. I mean, both iOS and Android, I guess, should really learn from BlackBerry for what concern gesture. The gesture into BlackBerry are perfect and really easy to use and really comfortable. They are very natural. You're not forced to perform anything strange. This is something that Android and iOS should really learn from BlackBerry, because it's way better to have gesture than have to select both software button or even a hardware button. It's very easy to have gesture. Then we have very good music reproduction, although, you know, there's no equalization of any kind, but the volume is quite high and the sound is very clear. There's no noise. It's very good. Then we have even a very good support for what concern on wire remote control for your headphones. So if you have a pair of headphones which is capable of driving the volume using your remote wire on iOS, you can be sure that it will work on this BlackBerry Z10 too. And it's really a pleasure to be finally able to use your volume rocker on your remote wire to control the volume of your device by listening to music. This is something that with Android we're not used to have. Then we have LTE connectivity. This device is very fast because it has LTE connectivity. It does support microSD catalog up to 64 GB. The internal microSD I'm testing now is 64 GB, of course. Then we have even the USB mass storage support for connecting this device to any computer and viewing the external SD card as a pen drive, which is very useful to me. Then what else? The battery is not bad at all, at least after the last update I had on this BlackBerry Z10. With low to medium usage, I was even capable to reach more than a day. to be more precise, 1.5 day, having few phone calls, LTE always on, and with 7 push emails, 5 Gmails, 1 Yahoo and 1 Exchange. So this is very good, using Twitter of course, and browsing and viewing some videos. So it's very good result for this BlackBerry Z10. I mean, for sure with a medium usage you will end up easily today. And then what is really interesting is that we have the Android runtime. So we were able to load the several Android applications, although just it can support up to 2.3 version of Android, so just gingerbread runtime. But this is really interesting, and this is just a very significant example, because I told you that the integrated maps inside the BlackBerry Z10, although having TomTom cartography, so the cartography is really accurate, but it's not working quite well because we don't have turn by turn, we don't have satellite view, the traffic sometimes it's not working. Here I was able to load nothing but the real Google Maps from Android, and as you can see, everything is working. It's working the satellite, it's working the 3D view, just like this. And what is really even more interesting is that it's working turn by turn navigation. So this is a very smart move from BlackBerry. I mean, the possibility to sideload directly from the BlackBerry World or on your own using a computer and, for instance, a browser plugin for Chrome, so nothing really too difficult to perform. You can load Android application. Of course, not every application will work right out of the box, but many of them are working. The runtime will be upgraded to 4.2, so you will able to sideload application running on Jelly Bean, and this is really a smart move for BlackBerry. And this is a smart move because of the first cons of this device. Into the BlackBerry world, although BlackBerry stated that right now we have 100,000 application, well, just let me tell you, the most interesting one are really missing. Just to give you a quick comparison, we don't have any other alternative video player. We don't have a very good alternative for what concerns Twitter client from the one installed. I mean, I was using Bitcaster or Plume from Android because I didn't like the BlackBerry Z10 Twitter application. But as I told you a few seconds ago, we can in some way, cover this weak point using directly Android application. Well, then the BlackBerry Z10 and the BlackBerry 10 is quite new as operating system, so will sure get better. And BlackBerry, in my opinion, is going the right way. It won't be that easy. I mean, there are two very strong contenders now, which are iOS and Android, of course. So it won't be that easy for BlackBerry to gain market share with this BlackBerry 10. But I guess this is a good way to start. Maybe the only very important point to BlackBerry will be to be as addictive to developers. So the more application you will be able to have into the BlackBerry world, the more the platform will be appealing for the customers. Then, for what concerns this, and the last things I didn't told you is that we don't have the USB host capabilities in this device, so no way to attach anything like pen drive to the USB host cable. So, for what concerns the review of this BlackBerry Z10, that's all. Once more, thanks for watching, and bye from TechnoLost.